Alright, well, this morning before work, it's 8 in the morning and I'm usually not out of bed yet. I'm going to take care of a issue that really should have been addressed a long time ago on this tank. As you can see, gap here versus gap down here, not quite equal, especially when you take it back to this back corner. There's about a 3/4 inch list to this tank towards this front corner. It was a little less when I set the tank up, but that was before the floor really had to get a chance to settle to the weight. So this morning I am going to level it. So, part 1, drain tank as much as I really can to remove stress on the stand and the tank. As I do this, I'm going to take it down probably to the about 20 or 30 gallon mark of the 100 gallon. So I'm probably going to have to take it down to about here. Give the fish enough room to swim around as I do it, but I'll still have to work relatively quickly. So I'll show you guys how I plan on doing. Get the tank change. Okay, so obviously I want to do this as evenly as possible, as to not put too much strain on the tank. Now, this piece here is 3/4 inch maple hardwood. So I've made a wide brace, real quick, out in the garage. Just some wraps I had, got a 2-ton floor jack, piece of ply underneath to protect my tile from cracking. I think it's going to be lifting about 500 pounds here. Tank itself's about 200, about 30 gallons of water left in it, plus the 20 gallons of water there. That's about 10 and a half at the moment now. Shims, lots of shims, more shims. Piece of 1/2 inch maple that I'll be putting under this corner because I know it has to go up the farthest, so I don't have to shim as far from that point. And then I will shim on top of that if needed. And handy dandy bubble level. Unfortunately, all I have is a 2'1". I'd really like it if I had a 6, but I don't. So that's what I got to work with. As you can see, it doesn't look like it's that far off when it's empty, but that little bit, once you actually translate it from a corner here, I mean over 2 foot, I need to raise it about 1/4 inch to go level there. So you transfer that all the way down the tank, and it becomes about 3/4 inch. And then front to back here, you can see there's about 1/2 inch there. So I got a ways to go. So let's try this, don't we? Even though I have about 3-inch screws running through here into the 2x underneath, I've lifted it about 1/4 inch, and instead of lifting down here, it is lifting right there, which in turn lifts the tank. So I'm gonna have to try another route here. Unfortunately, I don't really like this route as it's So it is. Cosmetically harms my stand, but I'm guessing I'm gonna have to shorten my piece here, cut it off about here. I'm going to have to take a 2x4 and lay it flat against an edge here. And drill and screw into the 2x4s that are directly behind this, which are the main structure of the stand, and then lift from there. So I'm lifting the whole stand structure itself. So I guess I do that. As I build the stand, I know where all my 2x4s are. Looking at one here, one that goes this way, same on this end, and one flat here. There's one across here which is supported by these. So I know if I throw some screws here, across the top here, and here, that 2x4 will be directly into stand, directly into frame, and by doing it here I should be able to hide most of these screw holes, fill them with putty later. Okay, as you can see, attempt number 2 that's screwed into the frame is successful. I'm going to try to get some shims under here, try to get as many shims as I can across these edges. As the bigger of a footprint you have, the less stress it is on your floor. So get some shims in. A little better idea how to construct my stand. Like I said, there's this up right here, which goes all the way to the top. This up right here, which supports the long piece. I have middle support. Each corner is identical like this, with the outside edge being the shorter, supporting the long rail, with these end pieces going right to the top edge here, just underneath the top. With lots of shimming. Those parts actually I have a spacer plus a shim all the way underneath. The 1/2 inch there with shims on top, shimmed along that edge, along the back side as far as I could reach. As you can see, it's actually a hair high on this side now, but only by about a 1/16 of an inch, and I can deal with that. As for front to back, it's a little better. Not a whole lot, but I can deal with how bad it is now without worrying about all the weight being on this corner of the tank. Well, on this corner itself primarily, which eventually would cause lots of problems. So let's get it filled back up. Okay, tank is topped off. I need to just top off the sump a little more. Keep topping it off with hot water as my Python was hooked up to the garden hose, which is really cold water. So I'd be topping off the sump, turn the sump on, let it pump in hot water and mix it with cold to keep the fish from getting too temperature shocked. They're all doing pretty good so far. Just measured with the tape measure from the bottom of the trim to the water level, and it is within a 1/4 inch from the back corner to this front corner. So that is much better than it was. Within about a 1/16 of an inch left to right. So it's still a little off, but it's acceptable. Usually you want your tank within about 1/8 of an inch. or as close as you can imagine to get it. I would not suggest trying to do it this way. Usually you want to do this while the tank is still empty. But due to renovations on the kitchen floor, settling with new joists that I had to replace, there was a little bit of shifting that happened that I couldn't account for when leveling it the first time. Jackson. Hi. So yeah, I'll get it topped off, let things be on their merry way. Okay, as a wrap up, if you're going to try to level your tank while there's water in it, while it's running, do it at your own risk. I am not responsible if you do like I just did and end up cracking your tank. I took a huge risk of that in doing this. I could easily have busted a seam and had anywhere from 30 to 100 gallons of water on the floor. So, like I said, if you set your tank up, make sure you level it before you fill it. I had factors I couldn't control, like the floor settling a little, so I had to just deal with it as it came. It's the downfall of doing a kitchen remodel. Redid the floor, had subfloor, new joists, everything had to tweak itself. But thankfully, I didn't have anything go wrong other than the first attempt with the jack there. So now it's all nice and smooth. Probably gained about 3 gallons worth of water capacity in the tank before it gets the overflow. That's why the overflow is the only reason that there is this gap, because the weir box that I built sits so low that it doesn't quite come up to the trim. I would like to have the water level here just because it looks nicer, but I didn't get that lucky when I drilled my hole and that's where the weir box ended up. Oh, that was poor planning on my part too also. But yeah, there we go. I just need to get my razor blade, score the shims, snap them off. I already did a few of them. And then I broke the tip off my razor blade. So I'll grab another one at work and fix it after work. Thanks for watching.